Hey guys, I am ZBest. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a tank review or preview of the Skoda T56 Czech Premium Heavy Tank. So over on tanks.gg, one of my favorite sites, we'll go through my loadout, the armor profile, and just the general statistics of the tank. So I was running full bounty. It's just what I normally do at this point. I was running optics, vents, and vertical stabilizer with the vents directive just because it is an autoloader. So no rammer. Vents will reduce the reload, make the gun better. And I went optics because I was unable to get maximum view range without it. And if I was trying to go for assistance, or just in general spotting, optics is the best. Turbo is an option, so is hardening, though I like to have the optics, especially for premiums, because spotting damage equals extra credits. Anyways, DPM's not crazy. Standard penetration's not anything special, but premium is okay, 248. There is about 21.5 second reload, 2 shells in the clip, 3.5 seconds in between shots, 920 for your entire clip damage. The aim time, nothing special, nor is the accuracy, but when you look at the alpha, then you understand why. 460. 460 is kind of in the realms of like tier 10 tanks, though of course the Defender has 440. There are other tier 8s that do have 440, but I think this is the only tank in the game that has 460. Though in autoloader format, it's actually kind of nutty. Anyways, the dispersions while moving, traversing, aren't terrible. Top speed is actually kind of slow. The power to weight is also nothing super special, kind of low. This is my view range. I think mine was a little bit higher. I think I had situational awareness and recon as well. So typical heavy tank stats. Gun depression's good. 8 degrees everywhere except on the back. Only 5. Armor. This is against its own premium round, so 248. Oh, I should also mention that the shell velocity of the premium, 1020. Nothing super crazy, but it's solid. So the armor. The hull is quite bad. Tier 6s and 7s might struggle with it a little bit. Higher tiers could bounce at angles. You can get to auto ricochet, and it just gets bouncy. Side armor, there is a slight curve. Maybe you can see it from here. So that could eat some shells. It can kind of side scrape, but not really. The turret is what's actually pretty good about it. It does have spaced armor around it, so it does absorb quite a bit. This is a weak spot right here, 220. Most tanks can go through that. The mantlet isn't particularly strong in some areas. Next to the gun is where you want to shoot, if you don't have any other option, though the cupola is really weak. It's 170 to 200 effective. It's a pretty easy shot. So basically, armor, nothing special. The only thing really special about it is the gun, and we'll get into that right in a second. Here we go. So we'll follow along with what I was looking at in this battle. So I actually play Karelia quite in an unorthodox manner, but that's just because I hate being stuck on the south side of the map, unable to do anything. So I just go and make sure that I can at least do something. So as you can tell, quite slow, nothing very special. The platform is quite weak, I would say. I do hit that snapshot low roll and miss. I mean, That Type 59 high rolled like mega 313 from a Type 59. But anyways, you can see sometimes it hits, and then if you aim even more, sometimes it just misses. That's the .36 accuracy with my loadout. As you can tell, the reload isn't nothing super crazy, 21 seconds. It's actually kind of strong in that sense. I actually think this is one of the strongest, and there are my shell dips, but I think this is one of the strongest tier 8 heavy tanks in the game now, just purely on the mechanic. The armor is nothing special, even the penetration and the gun stats aren't special, but the fact that it's a 2-shell autoloader with 460 alpha is just ridiculous. Basically 1,000 damage every time you fire. So there we did see a little bit of the accuracy, not doing anything crazy, just kind of missing. So along with that thought of this thing being really strong because of the 2-shell autoloader mechanic, the other tanks that are similar are the Burresc, the EBR-75, the Tier 8 Premium, and also originally the Tier 10 EBR before it was introduced into the game. So put a blind shot in. That's the nice thing about these smaller clip autoloaders is you are willing to do blind shots. It isn't as costly. Well, look at this. I've only hit 3 shots that I know of, and I've already done 1,260 damage. But as I was saying, it's the extremely hit and run type of gameplay. Of course, this tank is a heavy tank. It's really slow, so it can't run away like the Burresc or the EBR-75. But it's all about trading. Most scenarios, you'll have time to put your 2 shells in and pull back. And bam, with 460 alpha is 920 clip damage. So every 20 seconds, you do 900 damage to a tank. That's just not really fair. It's just really broken in the way random battles are played out. Of course, in other game modes, like maybe Frontline, maybe trying to think of, maybe Strongholds, like Stronghold skirmishes, it's not as viable, maybe. But in random battles, this poke out, fire 2 shots, pull back for 20 seconds, it's really good. The Burresc is really good. EBR-75 is really good. Even though this tank's platform is not that good, the 2-shot autoloader is just so strong. That being said, it does have its downfalls. Like I said, the accuracy and the aim time, they're not the greatest. And of course that penetration is only like 248. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we should be able to see later in this battle what this thing is capable of doing. I will say though, with my experience in it, not super good at sniping. I do think we'll see some okay accuracy this battle, but in other games I did have some quite egregious misses that were fully aimed. The reverse speed is also lacking, but I mean, it's slow forward and it's gonna be slow backward. Here we can see that really awful aim time. Shell velocity, nothing special. Accuracy, I mean, I hit both shells, but it was kind of lobbing them. 873 combined onto that Type 59, but there you go. Like, he wasn't lit for very long, but I got both of my shells in, and then I'm reloading again. And then next time something's spotted, I'll have another clip. Like so. I just finished reloading. I put 1 shot in, and he does actually disappear before I get my other shot out, but if he had stayed high, there would have been another 1,000 damage. Well, 900. That's why I think this 2-shell autoloader mechanic, it's just really strong. I don't know the best way to balance it. I don't know if it can be balanced. Maybe extremely long interclip times, but At that point, I don't even know if it's worth making it an autoloader, or you just add an extra shell. It's why the Burresc was nerfed like the day before it was made available. It's the reason that the EBR-75, so many people complain about it. And this thing is going to be no different. I do think this thing will dominate on the battlefield. I think I had, what, 13 games in it with a 3700 DPG. Of course, it is a small sample size, but the fact that it can just do so much damage because you poke out, do 1000, wait 20 seconds, do the same thing again. And you just keep doing it over and over again. All of a sudden, you have 4000 damage. Like, here we go. I'm only at 2500 damage, and there's still so many tanks left. Right here, I am a little bit indecisive, but I'm in that weird predicament where I know there's a tank destroyer in the base, and I also know there are tank destroyers on the hill. I don't want to rotate all the way south. It's when I realized that, wait, I can just kind of rotate north. So that is what I do in this game. So with this tank, as you can see, it is slow. The gun depression is really nice. The turret armor, it is definitely the best armor on the tank, though the cupola is just big enough that people are able to consistently hit it, and it's going hull down is not always the best because they'll just go right through your cupola anyways, though you definitely want to hide the hull because that's just really weak. So here's a tip for blind firing. I got spotted again. I know that Batchat is going to be in that bush. Now it's just a question of, does he pull out of it or not? And nope. He's still sitting there. I kept getting spotted. And here, in the chat, I misunderstood what he was meaning, but I still, and I actually think I realized that I misunderstood. Anyways, the ISU takes out the T-32, which tells me that the ISU is near where that Ferdinand is, so I don't really want to do anything crazy. Like, I have... Oh, but there's the Ferdy. Now, this is what I'm talking about with the gun. One shot. Two shot. There, all of a sudden, 870 damage. And he gets delit, but it's fine, because I'm reloading. So, it doesn't matter that I'm still reloading, because I already put my 2 shells in. If you were a single shot tank, you would have to blind fire there. If you had more shells, you might have to put a couple blind shots in. The 2 shots is just so strong in random battles. I had a discussion with many people, well, many of my peers, and the 2 shell mechanic is just so hard to balance in my opinion. Like, here we go, 3400 damage. Sure, it's been a long game, but it doesn't have to be a long game. Most of this game I was just sitting. I do apologize for the scrolling in and out. It's a tendency of mine while I'm driving around. I don't get spotted there, so I do take a slightly different route. And again, I'll emphasize, this thing is slow. I'm only going 35. Just really slow. Trying to see where those tank destroyers are. Avoid line of sight. But again, watch this. 1 shot. 2 shot. There we go. I did like another almost 1000 damage. And it's just so good for picking up those either kills or even the low health tanks. Like 460 alpha is a lot. but if you don't kill them in one shot, you're pretty likely to kill them with two. I think this tank would still be very strong if it had 400 or 390. And this is what I was talking about. It was slightly over 460, so I hit one shot and then I finished with the other shot. I have almost 5k showing. I do believe I hit a blind shot. And that's kind of what this tank is all about, is 2-shot autoloader. Don't really want to receive shots because your armor is not very good, but your gun is just so incredibly good. So let's get to the post-game stats. I did actually hit 2 blind shots, so 5600 damage, 3 kills. I did do a little bit of assistance, did bounce 1200. Of course, my team didn't do very much. 19 shots fired, 16 hit, 14 pen again. Accuracy, I missed a few. Pen, I bounced a few. And this was a all tier 8 game, so I will say against tier 10s, this thing does kind of struggle just a little bit. And the other thing that I will mention is this right here. I don't think it makes very many credits. I heard other people saying that it does not print credits very well. I am firing all premium, so that does take away from it. But just in general, like, this receive number of 92k is just on the low side for a tier 8 premium. And of course the ammo is also expensive because it has big shells. So don't expect this thing to be a moneymaker, though I do enjoy it. I will say that. It was quite a bit of fun. Though, again, I do think it is just a tad overtuned. The Alpha 460 makes it really strong. Not everyone will perform in it. It is a unique playstyle, but if you enjoy all loaders, you'll be fine. If you don't, I don't think it's really for you. And in my honest opinion, they really should have done a little more balancing with it. But it should also be a good crew trainer for the upcoming, I think it's Czech heavy tanks. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, or subscribe, or all the above. You can also find my Discord in the description below. I also do stream occasionally, and now that the summer is wrapping up, I might have more time to do so. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you next time.